attempts. So let's go ahead and get started. Just to give everyone a heads up, this is arcade easy 80%. We do not have rapid shot off, just to give everyone a FYI. So we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, go. Anyway, this is Mercs. This was released for the Sega Genesis as well as Master System around 1991. This game came out for arcades a year before that. And this game is the official sequel of Commando, which was released in 1985, around that time. And of course, this follows one of the playable characters, Super Joe / Joseph Gibson. In the arcade version, you also had Thomas Clark and Howard Powell as playable characters as well. But they're not playable in this version, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I botched that one pretty badly. I forgot to hit my Mega Crash right here just now, but we managed to recover. So anyway, mission 1 is pretty easy to do, of course. And we want to make sure we don't have any Mega Crashes as we move it into stages. That way that saves a little bit more time to get the bonus points out of the way, and just hopefully we don't have to deal with that. So going into stage 2, we get our POW, and we basically take this Jeep and try to keep it intact as much as possible. As we want to make our way through this area. We got this blasted tanks, and they will open fire on us. Actually, I took a lot of damage there. Thankfully, he didn't try to fire just now. Luckily, we got some of our life back. Sometimes some of the food items will give us a small bit of life back, but you get more health back when you have when you pick up the first aid kit, which is pretty rare. Alright, nice. We got that underneath 147. Whew! So anyway, that tank battle could be pretty nasty. I mean, technically you would think you would fight on the sides, but Capcom made sure this tank was equipped with means to counter that attempt, obviously. So we're now moving on to the carrier stage, and this is probably one of the more difficult areas. So basically we're going to ignore these two mini tanks right here. Destroy this missile turret so it doesn't open fire on us. And of course we're going to destroy those gun platforms. We'll take out all these soldiers that come at us right here. Get some hits in while applying a Mega Crash at the end. And now that we got the rocket launcher, we want to keep that intact as much as possible. Trigger the boss encounter. We do have to be careful though, because we only have only one Mega Crash plus a little bit of life left. Woo! We got through flawlessly. Nice. Oh man. Technically things go wrong during that fight, obviously. This is a lot more easier to do on this version than it is the arcade. Because usually when I get to the arcade version, I usually have to take a continue. Alright, so now that we're done with the Scorpion, we're going straight into the bog, swamp areas. So we have to go through this massive bog, which is going to eat up our speed. One of the big dangers of this area is the frogmen. Their spots are always random in each playthrough. Sometimes you'll get very lucky like here and not having to deal with them at all. Other times they'll just come right near in front of you and try to take a stab at you too. Now we got these ships to deal with. We do have to be careful though, because we don't have a whole lot of endurance for these boats. Alright, so we managed to make it through that area pretty quickly. Took very little damage. Alright, we got the trigger activated. You can definitely tell by the on the screen. So we got the gunboat. We're going to position our character right here. So drop the lob explosives around on the other side. And with just like that, we managed to get a pretty dang good time on the gunboat. So basically, once the flamethrower occurs, you have to count a few seconds, detonate the explosives, or do like I just did right there. And we got through that area, so now we're on our way to destroying the supply train. Which means we have to go through this town right here to do so. Whew, we managed to trick that tank into not hitting at us at all. Alright, we made sure not to... I want to pick up that health just to be on the safe side, because things could go horribly wrong. Alright, we'll pick up another Mega Crash right here. Position our character at the corner, just to protect them from being hit in the landmines. Ouch, got hit. Yeah, that's what happens. Sometimes you might be careful, and sometimes you just get hit. So anyway, we're going up against the supply train. We gotta destroy its defenses first before we can actually do any damage to the engine. So we're gonna save our Mega Crashes when we get to the engine part. Alright, we got most of the turrets out of the way. So anyway, we can destroy other parts of the train too. But for right now, we need to prioritize destroying the main armaments. Alright. So we can't attack the engine just yet. Whew, that was close. That was too close right there. But technically what you saw me do was basically fire the missile right in front of the other missiles so it doesn't hit me. And at the same time try to do the best I can to avoid the flamethrowers, because the train will move up and down to realign its flamethrowers to attack us. Alright, so we're now in the enemy HQ, so we're making our way through here. We're going to do the best we can to avoid enemy fire as much as possible. Whew, at least we didn't get hit by the explosives. I mean, the missiles at least. And we're already on the platform. Good for us. Now to destroy these flamethrowers as we make our way up. We almost got blazed there. Alright, well done. We got through that area. That was pretty easy to do. Now, in the arcade version, we would take an intentional death on that second left. So we can reload on life and power-ups and Mega Crashes whenever we need to. Alright, so once we get through here, it is possible to avoid the electric beams and take advantage of the invincibility frames from the Mega Crashes, but I'd rather not do that because that is very hard to pull off in the long haul. Yeah, we'll probably have to take an intentional death here. Yeah, unfortunately that happens too. Whew, thank goodness. Got through that area pretty quickly. And now that we just try to make sure we position ourselves far away from the planes so we don't get hit by them. Ouch, got hit by the explosives. Whew, that was close. Yeah, burned off all the mega crashes toward near the end. But we got a pretty decent time right now. So thanks to that usage, we did save time right there. So we just gotta make sure we don't continue in this fight. Alright, we gotta stop the Hercules flight crap next. Alright, this is probably gonna be a world record. Boom! Yes! Yes, we got a world record of 10:43. Bam! That beats my current PB and world record on speedruns.com. That was like 10:55 or 6 or so. Bam! We got ourselves a world record. This is going to be highlighted and submitted. Oh man. If this doesn't help me get in, I don't know what does. But yeah, I mean, I did the best I could with the commentary, but good grief, that is incredible. I was not expecting world record tonight.